Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Claire and I'm your host for today's show. And today we have a lot to talk about, we have a lot to unpack. The World Cup is getting closer to its end and finals and semi-finals are coming in. And how are our Reds doing? How are Manchester United players doing in the World Cup? And also we are going to talk about some transfer news. Manchester United obviously is missing out on multiple chances to sign any new player for the next season. And we will talk about a little bit of more of about Marcus Rashford and his future. I feel like every single time comes with its speculations, its news, and its updates. So let's dive right into the today's show. But before, let me remind you guys to be part of the family, subscribe, like, comment, do all the good stuff so that you can keep up with the channel and support the channel in the most free way. They do not charge that. They do not charge you to subscribe. They do not charge you to like. You just have to be willing to do it, all right? Without being taking much of your time, let me talk about Manchester United in World Cup. Before I even go to news transfer, okay? United duo, this is Marcus Rashford and Kobbie Mainoo. They qualified. They came through to the last 16, following England's win over DR Congo. Now, last night, on the 7th minute, that's when the DRC Congo scored its first goal. And I'm telling you, I was like, yo. After Morocco, after Ivory Coast was sent off, we have now an actual African team coming through. But bro, they could not defend their one goal till the 90 minutes. The three lions, as they like to call them, England came through. They equalized, and then they went ahead to win the game. And we didn't see really Kobbie Mainoo, being given any chance to actually play for England, but he was just there. He's there. And Marcus Rashford is doing his job. And England went into the match as heavy favorites, to progress with a tie against the host Mexico. But last night it was movies. It was a movie, and even a previous night, I remember. Norway, they were short. They came short in the first half. This is not related to United, but I'm just letting you know how the World Cup is coming in crazy, because now the worlds are closing in. The teams are looking to qualify. It's a knockout stage. You win or you're home. There is no second chance. It's a do or die. All right. And last night, we never saw Mainoo. He was never used, as a substitute for our first successful England game. Mind you, their fourth win in a row. Despite shining for United last season, he wasn't really Tuchel's choice. But England is through, and we can only hope we see our players, because we saw Ivory Coast. They were out. And by Ivory Coast, I mean Amad Diallo. Even though he won, even though he scored, no, actually people are comparing Amad Diallo to Ivory Coast's Messi, primetime Messi, because this guy was on form. If I tell you he was on form, he brought in all the smokes, and everyone was really rooting for Ivory Coast, but they ended up coming short. Anyways, World Cup aside, let's talk about United and its transfer news. Oh my God. The most frustrating club right now in the world is Manchester United, and I'll tell you why. Now United are prioritizing midfield reinforcement, as we keep telling you, as they prepare to play in the Champions League and potentially mount Premier League, okay? But they moved with speed, okay? They moved with speed to wrap up a deal with Ederson, who is set to officially complete his move after Brazil's involvement in the World Cup. Ederson's move may have been fast-tracked, but progress on the front has been far less straightforward. Let me tell you one thing. Last week, it was confirmed that United has missed out on Nottingham Forest midfielder Elliot Anderson, the England international is set to join crosstown rivals Manchester City for a mega 116,000 euro. That's million, okay? Now, let me tell you, we've seen United lose Fernandes. We've talked about Fernandes like all the time. All the time, we thought we had this in the bag. We thought Manchester was going to sign Fernandes, but it has been confirmed he's now moved to Tottenham. So we literally lost to Tottenham. Okay, it's now the 2nd of July. We haven't announced. By we, I mean United haven't announced any signings. Okay, they have not confirmed anything. But boy, oh boy, everyone is pissed. When I tell you pissed, Manchester United fans are pissed. They are pissed, one, because you can say you're a giant club, you can say you have all these titles, but this is like falling into what, like, it's portraying an image of how Manchester United is being managed. All right, we've seen this before. We've seen this like management coming in, coaching staff coming in, they don't do anything. Cristiano came back after how many years? He actually wanted to finish his career in Manchester United. That was a big thing. It was a big buzz. Everyone was talking about it. But the guy comes, and when he started complaining, everyone was like, oh, crybaby. Cristiano is a crybaby. He's always crying. But now everything that he said then is being shown on a full display. And what do I mean? I mean, United really seems to struggle in management department. They seem to struggle, and this, like for the second time in a week, okay, Manchester have missed out on a midfield target transfer, and first they lost out on Elliot, as I just said, Anderson, who joined Man City from Nottingham, and now they have lost Mateus Fernandes, who have joined Tottenham for 85 million euros. United wanted both players but refused to overpay because they say we're not going to overspend on this coming season. But mind you, we qualified for Champions League. This is the right time to reinforce the team, to strengthen the team. This is the right time to get players. All right. Now they believe Anderson was too expensive and felt like West Ham increased Fernandez's price once Tottenham entered the race. Although United were willing to pay around 85 million euros, including add-ons, they didn't want to get into a bidding war with Tottenham. And I wonder why. I wonder why. The club believes sticking to its budget is responsible approach. Well, and even if it means missing out on targets, we would hope they have like alternatives and backups, because this is bonkers. As the transfer windows moves into July, several players such as Casemiro and Sancho, they already left because their contracts expired. Now Marcus Rashford and Andre Onana have returned to the squad after loan spells international duty. By Onana already made his permanent move where he is in Turkey. But Marcus Rashford, it's not clear yet. It's not clear if he's coming back, if any teams, because as I said the other time, his performance in the World Cup has really spiked his performance, and his light is like shining bright. Okay, everyone is like, okay, Marcus, So now I don't know. Apart from Højlund, who was sold to Napoli for 38 million in May, United have not made any major sales. All right. And we remember, I remember last week I told you guys about Manuel Ugarte, who sustained an injury. He was supposed to be sold. He was supposed to leave United. But now he can't be sold because you can't sell an injured player. All right? So now, in short words, Manchester United are being cautious in the transfer market, refusing to overspend, but has meant missing out on key targets while still waiting to bring in new players. Now, I wonder if that's like the best approach. Okay, I don't know. But on the other side, if we leave, as we're talking about Manchester United, let's talk about Manchester United women, because I think it's the only signing they have confirmed so far. Ever since like last Premier League season, they have confirmed that they have signed Andrea Medina. Okay, he is a defender. She's going to wear number 7, jersey number 6, and she signed a contract until June 2029. That's the only, oh my God, the frustration that Manchester United fans have right now is insane. It is insane, and you can understand them. Like, you can clearly see that the club doesn't have any, well, they have a future, they have whatever they're planning, but you cannot tell me you're missing on all these good players. They're young, just because you don't want to overspend. All right. Let's move on to when Manchester United begin their Premier League campaign against Hull City next month. That will be 619 days since Marcus Rashford last played for the club, but could that mean it's becoming to his exiting Manchester or coming back? All right. Now, there have been what are described as positive talks between the two parties recently, and the groundwork has been laid for Rashford to return to Carrington in pre-season. At the very least, it seems like he will be back training with the first team this summer, having been cut adrift a year ago. Okay, but why Rashford could be forgotten about during this season, his season spent in Catalonia, that's in Barcelona, the decision not to take the 26 million option to sign him permanently, despite a good season at Camp Nou, has complicated matters. Now everyone is like, okay, if you've had this good season, this positive season, you've won, you've scored goals, you've assisted, why is the club like Barcelona not like staying with you? And also they know Robert Lewandowski is leaving. Why aren't they? So now that puts really a bad name on his back. But United don't want to give away a player who scored 14 goals and created 14 more for the Spanish Giants last season, as I just said, and one who is impressing for England and the World Cup. I keep telling you, this guy is like shining, all right? The alternative is keeping him, and while that probably makes sense on a football level, okay, it's hard to square with approach taken over the previous 18 months. Well, let's talk about United's failure to land Mateus Fernandes, okay? It has sparked frustrations among supporters who feel the club is repeating old mistakes. I opened this dialogue telling you them missing out on these, the Elliots, the Mateus Fernandes signing. It has shown fans it's not really giving us any hope of any bright future, because Tottenham stepped in and agreed a deal, leaving United once again empty-handed in a key midfield chase. The situation has quickly become more about one transfer. It is now being seen as a wider reflection of how the club is being run. And fan sentiments, the fans are not happy. The fans around the deal has been largely critical, with many believing United are repeating long-standing issues in the transfer market. There is a sense among supporters that the club are actually they're prioritizing right now financial caution over immediate squad improvement. Like, they're messing up their priorities. Like, what is your priority? Because we believe no one is in United's bank account to know, but we are at least sure they cannot fail to afford someone like Mateus Fernandes. But again, you would think, these people think maybe Mateus is not a priority. Okay, who is now your priority? Who is coming? Are we waiting for Tchouaméni? Is Tchouaméni going to leave Real Madrid to come to Manchester? Yes, a possibility. But what is going on? Any talks? Any dialogue? Nothing? And Casemiro just left? All they do on their app is announce new T-shirts signed by Casemiro, a farewell by Casemiro and the teammates. Like, so fans are really not having it. Just as the frustration you see on me, I don't know if I'm demonstrating it the way if I feel inside as someone who supports and love United, but some fans on internet, they didn't take this lightly. They did not. Some fans also viewed the situation as another example of misambition, particularly given United are now losing targets to clubs outside Champions League. Others defend the cautious approach, suggesting the club are trying to avoid overpaying for players who may fully justify their valuation. Overall, the reaction points to a divided, but concerned fan base that can see, like you can see like their frustration. It really makes sense, because if you're talking about the season coming and we're hyping people up, oh, we're going to take Champions League, oh, we're going to take Premier League, oh, no, you have to do something, okay? You have to do something. And before I leave, I need to, because I know some people like to hear this, some people love to know, they would like to know how many or what numbers are now available for United shirts. People wear, like Bruno wears 8, like such kinds of numbers on the back, because now also fans have started looking into the numbers that are available and linking them to players that could come. Because if a player is wearing, like is a top player wearing, let's say, number 8, and they come, sometimes even players, they actually discuss this in their contract. They put in their contracts, I need this number. And I've seen it in like some clubs, local clubs, where someone comes and they want a specific number, and because the club needs them, the other person who was wearing the number they will switch. Well, it causes a rift, but it happens. Because now Manchester United is preparing for a pre-season that is going to begin next Thursday. All right. That's 9th July, with players not involved in the World Cup returning as preparations. They're going to start 2026-2027 season ahead of the Premier League opener against Hull City, because we're playing Hull City on 22nd of August. The new details, or the new Adidas kits, home kits, they have revealed that number 9 is a vacant jersey. Jersey number 9 is like vacant, because Højlund moved to Napoli, and now his shirt is free. And previously worn by greats like Andy Cole, Dmitry Berbatov, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I don't know why I'm like stuttering today. I don't know what's happening, but bear with me. And it's one of the most sought after shirts. Number 12 and number 18 are also free after the departure of Thierry Malaysia and Casemiro. Okay, several Manchester United squad numbers are still available, like 14, 17, and 21. By me telling you this, let me know in the comments, people you remember wearing these numbers. Like there is 14, there is 17, there is 21. Okay, because now 21 used to be worn by Christian Eriksen, Alexander Garnacho, and Anthony, number 20. Also 20, which was worn by Diogo Dalot, has been switched to number 2. You remember when I told you sometimes they switch because a big player or a player with a big name is coming in and they want that specific number. Now they will make someone switch. Okay, it's really cutthroat, but it really happens. Okay, and now there are other unsigned numbers, including 27, 28, 29, 34. Last one by Weghorst. You all remember Weghorst. Anyways, let me tell you guys one thing about Manchester. It's just like any other clubs. They will sign a player comes in, and they're absolutely rubbish. Excuse my French, but they're absolutely terrible. Like, I've seen players coming in and play only 2 games the whole season, and even by substitution. So I am really hoping and praying this season at least they do it last minute. Sign someone last minute, please. Like, bring someone, because our midfield is slacking. Our midfield, like, it needs reinforcements. All right. Anyways, that's all I had for you today. I'll see you in the next one, and I hope you had a great one. Please like and subscribe. I'll keep reminding you until you do, because me and you, us, we need to be a family. All right.